Hello friends, welcome once again to our chemistry class. And before I continue with what I have for you today, I want to first of all apologize for leaving you just before the JAM examination. I quickly stopped dropping my messages or my videos just because of unforeseen circumstance. So I'm sorry for that. Now we are back again to continue from where we stopped. So JAM is over. But what you learned during that period or before JAM will still be useful in your WAEC. Now WAEC is very close. Practical chemistry is very close. Maybe less than 2 weeks from today. So I want to start by pointing out very important things that used to make students to fail chemistry. If I were you, I wouldn't like to miss any points that I'm going to give you today. Many of you, even your instructors in your schools, may not have told you what I'm going to tell you today. So sit tight and make sure you follow this video to the end. Okay, now looking up to what we have today, why chemistry 3? Chemistry 3 is practical. You will see it in this 2025 WAEC. So follow very well. Now, you will see a table. You are the one to draw this table. This practical, before I continue with the table, this practical, chemistry practical is divided into two. One is qualitative analysis, another one is quantitative. Rather, quantitative is number 1 question. Qualitative is number 2 questions. Then general question is number 3. Practical chemistry has 3 questions for you to answer them all. All the questions there are compulsory. So, quantitative, qualitative, and general question. So, this quantitative analysis, whether alternative A and alternative B, is what I am going to handle today. Now, when we say quantitative, or when I say alternative A, let me explain that so that you understand. When your school is large, you have students, more than 100 students offering the subject, then they will divide into two. The first set will write alternative A. The second set will write alternative B on different days, different questions. So if you are not writing A, you write B. If you are not writing B, you write A. But if you are few, less than 100, all of you will write alternative A. Okay, now moving to alternative A or B as far as question 1 is concerned. Question 1 is quantitative analysis. In a simple way, titration. They will give you questions, give you substances that you are to use, acid and base, and titrate, and then get the values. You may be thinking of how I got these values. Forget about the values. If you wish to see in one of my earlier videos, I taught on how to carry out titration. You can refer back to that. Check the processes, how these values are generated. You are the one to generate these values. Draw the table. They will only give you the space for you to draw the table, and then carry out the analysis, the titration, and fill the values. Use those values for your calculations. Other questions will follow. Now, I am not going into I'm not on a hurry to go into the calculations. I want to point out the mistakes that students commonly make and the penalty, because when you make a mistake, there must be penalty. You must pay for it. So many students will write well and then come out and shout, "Oh, I have written well. I'm expecting A." But coming out, when the result is out, you may see yourself C. Say, what happened? Penalties that you committed, they have punished you. So we are going to look into all those punishments and the penalties so that this one that is coming, you will avoid them. When you avoid them, you will get higher mark. Okay, now when the question is given, maybe I may do titration in the next video. So, but this one I am using the values that I have already titrated. Now, so many of you have the good knowledge of titration in your schools. Now, the instructors, this message is for you. Make sure you show your students how to get those values that you got. Now, I will mention some of them. Now, draw the table. When you see the question, draw the table the way I'm doing it. If you check, this is Boret readings. And I put CN cube in brackets. Then final Boret reading. CN cube is there in brackets. Initial, CN cube is in bracket. Volume of acid used, CN cube is here. If I don't want to put this CN cube here, I will put them here. This is rock work, first titer, second titer, third titer. So I may choose to put the CN cube down or in front of this rock, first titer, second titer, and third titer. It's still the same thing. Why should I do that? If you fail to put them either here or here, your examiner will be pushed to a tight corner that the examiner will not know which unit you are using. This is it in DMQ. So the examiner will be confused. You will be penalized because of that. So that's the first thing you should know. When you put them here, no need for you to put them here to make your work neat. Once you put them there, continue with your way, the values. Forget about putting them here, you write and you put, here you write and you put, here you write and you put. No, it will make your work boring. Just put them there, then display your values. So now, these values have been worked on. The rough work, if acid is given, there's that common belief that as you are running in the acid into base, titrating, at a point you get to, because you don't have a pre-knowledge of where the titer value is, so there might be, you might overshoot the titration. This is the titer value, but acid has been added more, then you have overshoot. So that's the reason rough is, in most cases, clean work, rough will be higher in value than other titration, because these other ones you have known, oh, this is 20.5. Now let me be very careful. From 20, I will be putting drop by drop, drop by drop, drop by drop. One drop should give me the color change, and I stop. Take the reading. It will be less than the rough. Okay, but when you draw the table, you should be able to write above the table the methyl orange you are using. Put it there, methyl orange, colon. You mentioned the methyl orange you are using. The volume of your pipette, very important. Put it also up here. volume of pipette. If you are using 20.00 cm cube, write it. If you are using 25.00 cm cube, write it, so that the examiner will know the volume of the pipette you are using. Okay, now this titration has been carried out. My rough work, the final initial volume was 0. I started all with 0. Then final volume, when I observed the color change, I stopped. And the value was on the burette. You know that burette supposed to be holding your acid, while pipette supposed to be holding your base. So you take the reading from your burette, and then this is what I have. Subtract this from this, get your volume of acid. So this is initial, this is final. From the burette, this is your burette. You measure it up to 0 because it's graduated. 0 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 50. 50 is down. So by the time as you are running in the acid, the values or the values are increasing. The acid is going down, increasing the value. Now, from that 0, I got to 20.50. The color change took place. I stopped. Take the reading as my final. Then subtract initial from here. Assuming I took the initial from 5, I will subtract, I would have written 5. And final, when I obtain final, I will subtract the 5 from this to get the volume of acid used. Very important. So the initial must not be 0 at all time. Okay, so having done that, I have subtracted, I got this. And I emptied everything, rinse them with water. Never rinse them with what? The conical flask that you are titrating with. Never rinse it with what? Base or acid, apart from what? Distilled water. So rinse the conical flask with distilled water. Soak the base again with your pipette. Take the measurement. Your measurement must, when you are taking reading, whether burette or pipette, whether initial or final, make sure you place it straight to your eye level. Do not keep it like this and take the reading. You will not get the right reading. Do not also keep it like this and take the reading. You will not get the right reading. Always place it straight to your eye level and take the reading. Okay, so now do the second one, do the third one, and so on till first, second, third are done. Okay, now when you do this, now you can now calculate what? The average titer value. But before you calculate that, let me point out the mistakes that is expected from you. You should be committing 1 or 2 or 3 or any number, and then you will be penalized. Okay, very important. Now, the very first thing I want you to note is that no value here should be written with pencil. If you write any value here with pencil, this table, the whole of this table, don't use pencil. When you use pencil, you will be penalized. What will be the penalty when you are using pencil? Penalty, they will remove -2. Using of pencil, minus what? 2. They will take out your marks, 2 marks from whatever thing you will get. So do not use what? Pencil. Now, another point, another mistake that, you know that some students like using pencil, and then sometimes they will do like they want to erase it. Sometimes they don't even erase it. They just put pen to bold it. They will, once they see the trace of pencil, 2 marks gone. Okay, another point that you need also to be very careful about is wrong unit. If they, like here I said cm cube, if you write dm cube, that's wrong unit. That's wrong unit. Or you are calculating the any value, any parameter there, and you are putting a wrong unit, or you don't put the unit at all. Okay, now that will attract -1. Wrong unit or no unit, -1. Now another point, consistently reading burette with nearest whole number or one decimal place. Nearest whole number, you are reading your burette. These are values from burette. You are reading them with whole numbers or with one unit, one decimal place. Like in this case now, if it is whole number, it will be only 20. If it is one decimal place, it will be 0.5. So either this or this, you should not do it on this table. Make sure that all the values in the table are in two significant figures. Sorry, two decimal places. Once you fix the decimal point, you should have two values there. If it is 0.5, because that's what you see, 0.5, do not end it with 0.5. Put what? 0 in addition. That's two decimal places. So failure to do that, -2. So when you do it consistently, the whole of this table, whole number, like here, that's -2. Now, inconsistent reading. So like here you put two decimal places, here you put 1, 1, 2, 1, inconsistently, -1. Now, another problem that students used to commit, and which they will be penalized, is arithmetic error. As you titrate, like in this case now, when you titrated this and then you got this, you just remember this minus this gives you this. That's how we got this. If this was 5, you subtract 5 from this value, you bring it down. But if you wrongly put the value here, that your examiner, because your examiner will always check whether it's correct. The subtraction you have done in this place, is it correct? If it is correct, no problem. But if it is not correct, your examiner will correct it and take a mark from there. So I said arithmetic error, -1 for each lab, -1 for each lab, -1. They will take -1. If you do this place 1 and wrongly, they will take -1. Do another one, -1. That's all for that. So you can see how important it is. Now, another mistake that students like to do is putting down the values without showing how they are arrived at. So by the time you put down these values here, these values, volume of acid used, since you were just using your initial to be 0, you titrated, you discover that this is what you have as a final volume. You just put it down here. You forget about this and this. The same thing here. Forget about this and this. Forget about this and this. And then be putting this volume of acid used. That's what we are talking about now. I said putting down tighter values without showing how they are arrived at. Initial and final burette readings not recorded. You have not recorded initial, you have not recorded final. So what will happen is that you will lose 2 marks each. Here you lose 2 marks, here you lose 2 marks. That's 4 marks. Total of 4 marks minus 2 times 2. Okay, that is what will happen there. Now, another thing, let's move on to another problem. By the time deliberate alteration, if you check this table, the table is very neat, clean. I have not altered anything. But by the time you altered something, you were writing 20 point, maybe here 20.30. Now you now discover that your friend is writing 20.5. You now come and start putting, this is alteration. Something like this is alteration. You lose how many marks there? I have here, you will lose 2 marks. Minus 2. If it is in this place, minus 2. Another one here, minus 2. So you have minus 2 times what? 2. So there should be no alteration. Note well before you put the value down with your Bible, so that you not write it the second time. This is alteration. You have seen it. Okay. Now, another thing that students used to have problem, cancellation of the table. Maybe you, because I have told you you should not alter, but you have made mistake to alter here, and then you decided to cross it, the whole table, and form another table so that it will be neat. Now, cancellation of the whole table, they will check the values that you had in the first table. Compare it with the values you have now in the second table, and then based on that, you will be penalized if the values are different. So that means that you cancel it because you made mistake, and then you want to get the correct table now. So cancellation will result in minus 4. Okay, now let's move on to another point. The candidate that uses 0 as initial but fails to record volume of acid used, minus 1. You lose 1 mark. You did not record this, 1 mark gone. Times how many places? 2. Why it is 2 that we are talking about? Because we will only mark, the examiner will only mark 2 of these, not all. Only 2 sets. If this or this, this or this, this or this, sorry, this and this, this and this, this and this. So it must be 2, either these 2 or these 2 or these 2 or this and this or this and this, any 2, based on the one you are using in your average title. Those ones are the ones that they will mark on the table. So if you are not using it on the averaging, here they will not mark that one, even if that one is the most correct one. So you have to take note on all these that I am telling you today, so that you will not fall a victim after you have heard them from me. Okay, now let's see. So what I am saying now in essence is that now I told you that 2 sets will be marked, not all. Now the 2 sets that will be marked are the ones you are using in averaging. Now let me see how to do the averaging. Average title value. Now you check which of the 2 are concordant. Look for concordant values. two that are concordant. Some persons like using three. Some students use two. All are the same. But if you're using three, for example, you want to use this, and this, are they all concordant? Check. If they are not all concordant, do not use them, else they will penalize you. Now, the whole of this table, you have 8 marks on this table, but see what will be reducted. If you make mistake, all this will be reducted, and then the whole 8 marks will go. So better you be very careful with those things that I pointed out, so that all these marks will not be taken away from you. This table as it is now is 8 marks. Now, concordant averaging will give you 2 marks here. So now I said look for concordant values here and use. Now, concordant values are those values that by the time you subtract 1 from 1, you have either plus or minus 0.20. So, concordant value. So, if I subtract this from this, I will have 0 point. So that is this from this, they are concordant. I can use this. Now, if I am not too sure of my rough and I want to leave that and use these two, let's see. When you remove 1 from 3, you have 2. So they are concordant. These two are also concordant. I can use the 2. Now let me see if I can use these two. 1 and 0, they are concordant. I can use this, I can use this, I can use this. But now, if I am, that's when I am using 2 sets. But if I am using 3, like 1, 2, and 3, concordant values means averaging means add them, divide by the number of this thing you are using. So if I want to use the 3, this, and this plus this, divided by 3. So now, check the highest value among them and the least value among them. When you subtract, will they give you this? Now, subtract this from this. What do you have? You have 0.30, which is not concordant. You cannot use this 3. If you use this 3, you are wrong. So, but you can use this and this. You cannot use this and this. So now, because of that, I want to use this too, because if I subtract, I can use this, I can use this. If I am using this, subtract this from this, we have gotten that. So I may use any one. Let me use this and this. So 20.30 plus 20.10 all over, since they are 2, 1, 2, I will use 2 instead of 3. And then you now carry on the addition and division. So that will now give you what? That will now be 20.20 cm3. This is 1 mark here. This is another 1 mark. So total of, remember I said 8, total of 10. This is 8, this is 2. That's total of 10. Now, I have shown you how to get this place. Now, let me show you how your teacher will mark this for you. You have done this. The teacher will now check this and this. Are they concordant? Yes. You collect this mark. Now, the addition and division, is it correct with this answer? If it is yes, you get another 1 mark there. Now, on the table, the teacher will, your examiner will now check what is the value that the teacher, your school teacher, chemistry teacher, recorded. Because the day you will write this practical WAEC, WAEC examiner that will come with the question will give your school teacher that is handling chemistry to fill the form. A form will be given to him or her. And then that person will fill the values. First title, second title, third title, average. So if this, and this have been given to the WAEC, that means that on the day of marking, the person that will be marking will be using the values that your teacher gave you. So that was the reason I said earlier that the instructors of our students in the schools should be able to show them the steps, like filling of the jet, like placing it straight to your eyes while taking the reading, like making sure no bubble of air is present while taking or sucking in base or filling acid in the burette. So all those things are very important. Now, the assuming, let me just believe the title value of your teacher is 20.0 cm3. If that is the title value of your teacher, that's what they will use in marking you. The examiner, the person that will be marking your script, will use that value from your teacher to mark you. Now, what will happen in this situation is that your teacher will, the examiner will now say, okay, which set is this person using? 20.3. This is the one he will mark. This is the one he will mark. He will not mark this one. Even when this one is the most correct one, he will not mark. Each set that he will mark is supposed to carry 4 marks. 4 marks here, 4 marks here. This and this are the same. But he will not mark this one, give you that 4 marks, because you are not using it in the averaging. So the one that averaging is carrying is the one he will mark. Now, looking at this, check the difference between this and this. Check the difference between this and this. Now, let me show you something. For you to get what the 4 marks. Now, first thing you need to know, candidate's title value must be plus or minus 0. The difference between your teacher's title value and the one that I want to mark first, if it is this one, I will compare with this one. When I am done with this, I will compare it with this one. So if you have 0.10 or 0.15, so cm cube plus or minus 0.15 cm cube down, that's either 0.10 or 0.15 cm cube, you will get what? Total of 4 marks. When you have the difference between your teacher's value and your own value, if it is plus or minus 0. Now it's increasing from 15 to 20. If the difference is this cm cube, you will lose 1 mark. From 4 marks that they're supposed to have given you, you have what? 3 marks. If the difference between your teacher's value and your value is plus or minus 0.30 cm cube, you will lose another mark and then get what? 2 marks. If Teacher's own and your own, the difference is 0.4 cm cube. Then you will get only 1 mark. When you have plus or minus 0.50 cm cube, you score nothing. So that is what will happen in marking this, and the same thing will happen in marking this. So now if I should check this my work now, this is 20.30. Where do I have the difference between this and this is what? 3.3. So 0.3. So I will only have 2 here, 2 marks here. Then the next one, 1. The difference between this is 1, 0.1. So I will have 4 marks here. I'll have 4 marks here. I'll have 4 marks here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So add these 2 marks to these 4 marks. That's 6 marks. So you have 6 there, 1 here, 1 here. Altogether 8 marks out of 10. So that is how that is followed up. How the practicals are being marked. Keep on watching this video as many times as possible. Understand what I am giving you here, so that it will help you to avoid those things that will be taking away your marks during the practical, so that you will come out with a flying colors. So many teachers, including some of your instructors, your teachers in your schools, do not explain up to this point that I am giving you. Follow this channel and then enjoy the performance that you will, because once you see the questions and you now remember what I have taught you today, you will be very happy to come out with flying colors. You will escape anything that will bring mark reduction from whatever score you are making. So follow this channel. Maybe by next class I will try to do the practical together with you so that you watch, but I'm still asking you, go back to one of those videos behind, and then in my channel you see the practical that I did. Just follow that steps, understand this. By the time we go into the calculations, everything will be fine and you're good to go. Whether you're writing alternative A, whether you're writing alternative B, it doesn't matter. Now, so that we can quickly go to qualitative analysis. I believe you have enjoyed the class. Like the channel, subscribe to it, share with your friends, and keep on following. Comment till we see some other time. Thank you.